Invercargill leaders are already vowing to fight the shake-up and they're mulling possible legal action. Stand Up for SIT campaign director Carla Forbes, this is about Southland Institute of Technology, says there's widespread fears the merger will kill off the successes of the Southland region.
SIT is probably one of the key economic drivers to Southland. So, I think when SIT sneezes, all of Southland catches a cold. So it is very much, it affects our businesses, it affects our community, it affects the diversity of our communities. The ripple goes really, really far. So pretty much everyone is touched by if they don't employ students. They have, daycares. The whole SIT, I guess, wraps right around Southland. And with their successful model, they give back to the region. So they sponsor a lot of sports, they own assets throughout the community, they give back to the community. So, Southland will be really, really lost when this mega merger happens. It's going to really affect us in lots of ways.
Okay, give us the top one or two, because you're saying you're set to lose. What are your main fears?
Look, SIT, some of it, when funding models have changed, SIT has had the autonomy to, when others zig, they zag, and they've been really responsive to governmental changes, and that autonomy has been what's really marked our success. They launched zero fees before that even existed in all of the other institutes. When that became something that was nationalised and the whole country was doing something similar, they then introduced a housing bursary. So that autonomy and that innovation has really been part of the success story of SIT that have allowed it to be such a fundamental economic driver here in Southland. And pulling that into one giant sort of organisation is going to, I guess, take away from that unique success model we have and take such a lot away from our community here, but more than financially through the diversity of all of those students coming here. It's really just going to shrink the benefit that it offers Southland. Now,
if you can give us a bit the background of how SIT became such a success story. You did a survey and you've got about 97%, you say, of graduates finding positions of employment. If I read from Chris Hipkins and what he said today, vocational educational system has not been able to keep up with the demand for skills. Are you saying that his sort of gauging of the temperature of these institutions just does not apply to Southland?
There are some very, very broken institutions. That's absolutely true. But he's cast this net very widely over all of these institutions, and Southland has never run at a deficit, never. It has an incredibly high success rate of its students. It's incredibly plugged into the community, so we have pipelines with the Chamber of Commerce to ensure we've got success and we've got employment for our students. So, the casting that same net over the Southern Institute of Technology really doesn't apply, because it's an incredibly successful model that both has a give and take from the community. The entire community feels like it is our asset, hence the gloves off fight that we have had, and I imagine we will be taking on again. I'm heading into a meeting shortly to make a plan of what's next, and I imagine this time the gloves will be off.
You're very passionate in this campaign, and you're saying that you're going to attend a meeting and the gloves are coming off. Take us into that. What's going to happen?
Look, to be honest, we have not decided yet, but I'm meeting with Tim Shadbolt. We're having a collective, I guess, of the Chamber of Commerce will be. They've been very vocal in this as well. We will have, I guess, our community leaders pulling together to find out what we could do. And certainly last time when the threat was put out there, and we thought the Minister may have listened, obviously was quite deaf to Southland's voice, there was nothing that the community wouldn't do. So I imagine that will be tenfold now, because certainly Southland was very loud, and, the Minister couldn't even remember our name. He was, calling it the Southland Institute of Technology, and when I looked at the statistics, he claimed that 48% were in favour of this merger if you exclude Southland. So not only does he not know our name, he actually does not count the submissions from Southland in the national statistics. So that speaks a lot for how the government is feeling about the regions.
Carla Forbes there.